God is an awesome God we reign. From heaven above we bring wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God we reign. From heaven above we bring wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is And then that is something which is so close to my heart, and I believe that all of us will be blessed. So I have a small PPT presentation and then I'll be sharing on. So the title I have given it as Rusty Instrument. So when I say rusty, what are the things that comes to your mind? Is it something good? Is it something pleasant?
No.
Is it something valuable? It's all the opposite, right? So when we say a rusty instrument, we think of the garbage area where there is some instruments laying down there which is already rusted, some chairs or maybe some nails which are already rusted and giving problem to the house. We remember all the negatives. But today I just want to talk about rusty instruments, some of the rusty instruments that God used in the Bible. And I believe all of us, even if we are rusty, God can use us. That's the implication that I would like to bring. So I have taken the passage from Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10 says, "We are God's handwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." It is in advance for us to do. And we are His workmanship. If we are His workmanship, we are perfectly created. That's what it means. So today I would like to look at the first rusty instrument that God used in the Old Testament, and that is a donkey. So when you look at the Numbers chapter 22 verse 21 following, you will see that when Balaam was being called by Balak. Balak was the king of the Moabites, and he wanted to curse the Israelites because he knew that he won't be able to overcome the Israelites. So he said that, okay, you need to curse, I will give you everything. And Balaam decided, okay, fine. And he was on his way to curse the Israelites. But what happened on the way? Something miracle happened. The donkey was not listening to the master, that is the Balaam. The donkey was behaving very differently. Still then he was not able to recognize. When the angel of the Lord has come down and stopping them, Balaam was not able to recognize. Only the donkey was able to see. So what happened? The donkey, God opened his mouth and says, the donkey says, I always served you. I have never done like this. Today only I am behaving something different. Can't you see the angel? Right. That was what the donkey said. So literally when we say, if someone calls you donkey, will you be happy?
No.
I don't think any one of us will be happy. We call Jack ASS. We use those kind of a slang. We always say that, stubborn. When it is a donkey, then stubborn, lazy, dumb. Or maybe like we always say fool. Why would God use such an animal? On the contrary, I just want to look at the good things about the donkey. You know what? It is very, very intelligent. The donkey is the only animal which can know their area and his fellow donkeys for 25 years. 25 years. Just imagine the intelligence of the donkey. He can remember each and every of the donkey that has been with him for 25 years. And he is very, very strong that if the size of the horse, same size of the donkey and same size of a horse, if you compare, donkey is more stronger. Donkey is able to remember as well as he's able to sense the direction. He won't forget. So if in case you show one place, then he will be able to remember. That's the reason why they use in the desert. Desert is such a very difficult road. There is no road at all. Sand dunes will come anytime. They use donkey because he's very intelligent. I just want to keep that aside, and I want to go to the second rusty instrument that God used in His mighty work, the raven. The raven. If you look at 1 Kings chapter 12 verse 1 to 6, you will see that Elijah was being fed by the raven. God sent him to the pursuit because the king was chasing after him. He was there. The raven fed him. Why would the raven feed him? Because when you look, the raven is always considered as the bad omen. Omen means bad luck. In China, they consider that if they see an omen, it will rain.
In our own Naka tradition, if we say raven, then we say the death is coming. This is a death thing. And they always eat what is left over. They will always eat the dead meat. So we don't consider them as a very clean animal kind of a thing. So they are like, it's kind of a bird of death. We call them as a bird of death. And then they are very dirty because they are scavengers. Why would God use such a dirty animal, bird? There are beautiful birds like the parrots or the sparrows, or so many they can use, like the mighty eagle, they can use. But he used a raven. Why? It is so black and so not pretty also, by the way. When you just look at the looks also, but God used it. When you look at the good things about the raven, you can see that they are also extremely smart. They can get their food in 30 seconds. Just imagine. In 30 seconds, they will just get their food. They can also mimic human voice. Just like any one of us. They can mimic anyone's voice like the parrot, the raven. And then they can mimic even the animal voice in the legend. And they can adapt to any environment, be it very hot, be it very cold, they can adapt to any environment. They always move around in groups and they are very empathetic. Empathetic is not sympathy, showing oh like that, like no. They go extra mile for each other. They go extra mile for each other. And God chose the raven to feed Elijah, to be his instrument. God chose the donkey to be his instrument. God chose the raven to be his instrument. The third one, God chose the most, like I think we consider all of him as the most wonderful person in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul. He was one of, when we look at Acts 9, he was one of a person who was deadly against Christ, a murderer, a person who was a persecutor, and a person who was like against an angry man. He was so angry at the worshipper of Christ that he just wanted to kill them. He was at that time a very, very, very rusty instrument. God used him. You know what? He became a church planter. He planted more church than any one of us could believe. He became a preacher. And out of the 27 New Testament books, 13 of them are written by him. It is aggregated to him. Rusty instrument, but still then God used each and every one of them. When we just look at it, we will see that like there are circumstances when we are able to relate to these two animals and one human being. You might be able to remember that. I just want to share my story, my life story. When I was studying in CDC, I had no talent at all. I was one person, like people were able to sing so nicely, they are able to play guitar. I invade them and I thought that I don't have any talent. I really literally used to think, what am I? Like I won't be able to say anything. But God used me in a very miraculous way. And then I love children. And then I care for them. And so God has put me in such a ministry where I have to care for the children. And I am there. I might not be singing on the stage. I might not be playing any instrument on the stage. But I realized that I was a rusty instrument. But God can use me anywhere, wherever He wants. I just want to say today to all of us out here that no matter in what situation you may be, no matter how low you might feel, the ravens were considered as a woman by people. It was a very dead bird by people. They considered them like that. The donkey is considered as a stupid animal, the dumb animal. Paul was considered as a murderer. But look at how they have the inner qualities. See, I just want to tell to all the believers out here, look inside of you. As the word says, God has made you perfectly. You are His workmanship. We are His workmanship. So there is nothing lacking behind that. You just have to look inside of you. If the raven look inside of it, the raven is the smartest. It is very empathetic. He is able to get the food in 30 seconds. If you look at the donkey is so intelligent that he can remember his peers for 25 years. He can remember the way that he has. He can remember everything. And he is very good in that. He's very strong too. If you look at Paul's life also, he was a preacher. He never stopped. He died for the cause of God only, right? So our life also, look inside of you. I know for sure you might be a homemaker, you might be helping someone else, or maybe you might be a student, you might consider yourself as a child. But don't underestimate yourself, because you are God's handiwork. Rusty instrument might be, but in the hands of God, He can brush it up. He can use it to the fullest. The raven, the donkey, bull, everyone was being used. There are loads and loads. If you look at the Rahab story, Ruth story, all those they are all David, all are rusty instruments, but God used it for a mighty way. And in Psalms 139, we know that He has need us inside our mother's womb, and that if He has need us, and if He has already created us, He has a purpose for that. We are rusty instruments, but we just have to give it to the Lord, and then the God will use it. The raven was used by God, the donkey was used by God, bull was being changed by God and used it for His glory. Why not us? Why not you and me? Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. And no matter what situation comes, whatever works comes, just imagine and just think that you are capable to do. You can do. You can do. It doesn't matter about your qualification. The raven was very black. It is not the prettiest animal. The donkey is considered as the dumbest animal, but still then, your looks, or maybe the way you talk, your pronunciation, or maybe the English, no, nothing matters. Nothing matters. You just give it to the Lord. You are the rusty instrument, and God is going to bless you. That is, you and I, all of us, if we only give to the Lord, the rusty instrument can be the most shiny, the most beautiful instrument. Someone might be able to see that, and we might be able to help people. I just want to encourage and then say this to all of us. Let's all dedicate our life once again today. Just say, I surrender to you, Lord. My life, take it as your instrument. Make it for yourself. Even if I may be a homemaker, even if I may be a child taker, or maybe even if I may be a teacher, or maybe even if I'm doing a small job of you, or whatever I am, I just want to give my life to you. Use me, Lord. I surrender.